Dear content creator, how many ways are you getting paid for the value that you bring online? If your answer is not enough, then trust me, you're not alone. In a world where algorithms shift and it seems like brand budgets dry up overnight, putting all your income in one basket is not just risky business, but it is limiting your growth. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about why it is important for content creators to diversify their income, because it's not just a smart move, but it is necessary. Let's dive in. What up, beautiful people? Welcome back to another episode of Dear Content Creator. I am your host, Karis Maggie. Thank you all for tuning in to another episode. Listen to me in your headphones. Y'all, it has been about 2 weeks since I have released a new episode. If you are someone who has been keeping track, that is how long. And it's simply because May has been much busier than I expected it to be, y'all. Like, it definitely came in swinging. This is my busiest month, not just event-wise, but just with work. It has been super busy, and I am literally trying to catch my breath right now. Not to mention the fact that the weather lately has been acting up. 1 minute it's hot, then the next minute it's cold. I thought we were getting closer to summer. I don't know what's going on with the weather, but even right now, I am a bit under the weather trying to get this episode out. But nevertheless, we are here. Also, May is Haitian Heritage Month, just in case you never know. So all of my Zoes out there, happy Haitian Heritage Month. If you didn't know, I am of Haitian background as well. And in the month of May also is Guyanese independence, and that is where I was actually born. So my parents are Haitian, so hence the Haitian background part. But yeah, y'all, lots of mix up. It is an eventful month so far. And actually, before I dive into the episode, I want to get you all up to speed on what I've been up to. It's been such a busy month, as I mentioned. I don't know if y'all remember that trend that was going on where it was like club, other club, next club. That's literally what my days have been like lately. So the last episode that I did, I talked about a couple of events that were coming up. And funny enough, that episode was all about investing in showing up in real life. So the importance for content creators to find relevant events for them to go to, because just talking to people online and expecting you to see certain growth or opportunities to come your way is not the right move to make. I know during the panini time, all of us were stuck inside, but now we can be outside. And so if you want to listen to that episode, I have gone to over 20 events since 2022, I believe, or 2021. And all of them are for various reasons. And I talked a little bit about that in that episode. So go ahead and check out that episode. But if you all would like to know what all of those events were all about, I would highly recommend that you subscribe to my newsletter. The link will be in the show notes. But without further ado, y'all, we are talking about diversifying your income as a content creator. Now we're going to start off with the most obvious one that everyone kind of knows is a stream of income. And it is actually the thing that many creators work towards chasing and achieving. And this is brand deals. Now, for those of you who don't know what brand deals are, it's basically when a content creator is reached out to by the brand, or nowadays you will likely be reached out to by a PR company that works for the brand, who then gives you a brief. They give you an idea of what the campaign is all about. They might ask you for your rate, or they tell you the budget. You go through the signing of contracts, etc., and then you have a specific date when the content needs to be posted. Now, this is something that I've recently gotten the opportunity to do. It's been really cool to just finally be on that side of things, to really know how it works, how it really is a process. It's not just I record a video and I post and that's it. No, there's like a whole process that goes into it. You have to be very quick with replying to emails so that you don't miss out on these opportunities as well. So if you're somebody who's not really good at keeping up with your emails, yeah, you're missing out on a lot of brand deals because of that. Because the minute that they reach out to you, what I've learned is if you take too long to reply, they'll just move on to like other people unless they really, really want to work with you. then they might make another attempt or so. So yeah, brand partnership is one of the most lucrative ways that a lot of content creators have been able to make money. I have heard of situations where people were able to get like 10K, even 45K for one video. Now, granted, that is going to depend on the person's following, of course, and other factors like the deliverables could be very, more complicated than you expect. But yeah, basically people are able to make that much money off of one video. So there's a lot of potential there for creators out there. So yeah, brand partnerships. But what I want to really talk about in this episode when I talk about diversifying income is because I feel like most people only work towards getting brand deals and they forget about the other ways that they can make income as a content creator. And I am honestly someone who was guilty of this. I am now 8 years in the game. I believe this year is going to be 9 years, and it's not until recently I've been thinking about other ways that I can make money as a content creator instead of waiting on permissions from brands or waiting for them to recognize me. What are the other ways that I can make income? Also, I don't want the way that I make money is that I'm at the mercy of the algorithms and engagement and views and all of that. Like, I don't know if y'all have been noticing lately, but Instagram is taking a piss right now. I don't know what's going on with them, but yeah, something is in the water. And I don't know, it's just weird how they've been acting lately. The platform, whatever revamp or reset they did, turn it back. Instagram, turn it back. It's not fun out here, but we move. And this is why it's important to even have this discussion so that if you want to take a vacation, if you don't want to have to worry about the performance of your content in hopes of, well, if I have low reach or low engagement right now, will that affect my opportunities for brand deals? You won't have to worry about that if you are finding other ways to make money. And as much as brand deals are super glamorized, y'all, there is another side to it that no one I feel like lately I've been seeing more and more people talk about it, but that payment process for brand deals, hey, wanna know about net 30? Wanna know about net 60? Even net 90? Basically, this is a time frame that you are getting paid after you done post the content. So 30 days after you post the content, up to 90 days after you post the content, that's when you're getting paid. And in some cases, you can even be paid late. You can imagine after you wait 30 days, them still gonna come and pay you late sometimes. I have not encountered that so far, thank the Lord. But I've seen people basically talking about it online. Some people have ranted. In some situations, they might give hints to who the brand is. But it has reached a point where some people have found that they had to kind of blast the brand online for them to get their money because no one has been replying to them for their request of what's going on with my payment. So yeah, y'all, as much as it's glamorized, just know that if it is something that you're relying on 100% for your income, say for instance, you're doing this full time, be aware of that net 30 up to net 90 business. I have other content creator friends who do this full time, and brand deals is not something they rely on only. They have other ways that they're making income, and they have been inspiring me to also think of ways that I can grow my creator business and find opportunities and not just stick to one way that I think I can make money. So that's brand deals. So let's talk about affiliate marketing. So affiliate marketing is basically when you have a link for a product or service that you use, and whenever someone uses your code or they use your link, you get a commission on all of the sales. Now, depending on the industry, it could range from 10% to 30%. So that's pretty much what affiliate marketing is. Y'all, this one, I'm not gonna lie, it kind of hurts me to know how much money I left on the table years ago, because when you have so many engaged community people who are trusting you, this is the best way for you to be able to make money. But what I will say though is not every affiliate marketing program is the same. There are some that they pay you pennies. Amazon I'm gonna be on y'all neck for this one, because the amount of times I know I have recommended products and people use my link to buy, and I don't even see $100. Make it make sense, Amazon. So what happens is, not every product that you have on your Amazon store, so if you are a content creator, you reach a certain threshold. I don't know if it's open up for everybody now, but I know at some point they look for a certain kind of requirement before you would be able to open a storefront, that people would be able to buy things from your link or your storefront, and you get a commission. But the caveat is that not every product is eligible for that commission, because I think it depends on the seller or something like that. So honestly, Amazon affiliate is not even something, like I have barely been promoting my storefront because of that, because it's just so discouraging to know that you're putting money in so many people's pocket and you're not seeing any money. And I found that there was this situation I saw on Threads. There was this creator. It was actually very smart of her. Apparently, what she did was, instead of her sending people to her Amazon storefront, she started to just sell her list. So she will compile a list of like the products that she uses specifically for like interior design, because she would be able to find like really cute things on an affordable budget that people are not really knowing how to find them. So that's what she did, and started selling the list for like, maybe she would sell it for $5 or $10. And that would make her way more money than through the Amazon storefront affiliate thing, just because she has been bringing in so much traffic to these stores, making them so much money, but she barely sees anything from it. You know what I mean? Imagine bringing in tens of thousands of dollars to a company through affiliate marketing and you don't even see $400. That makes sense? It not make sense. So yeah, with affiliate marketing, I think for me, I wish that in the beginning I took it a bit more seriously and just realized that it was actually a possible lucrative way of making money, but also it depends on the industry. So I have a couple content creator friends, especially in the finance space, that I feel like they have done pretty well for themselves with affiliate marketing, just because I feel like the products, what they give, is also like, it makes it worth it to want to promote. So for example, the finance space provides actually valuable like commission. So you would have someone use your link to sign up for like a bank account, like maybe it's EQ or Wealthsimple, and they get $50 when they sign up, and then you get paid $50 or whatever the case might be. Like they have some kind of way that it makes sense for both like parties involved. And so I've seen that a lot with like the finance space, where a lot of creators, regardless of their size, if they have an audience that trusts them, if it's a product that they're using, once they have a code, they can share it and their followers will go ahead and use it, and they get started on their financial literacy journey. So yes, finance products are very lucrative. Another one that can be very lucrative as well that I've noticed is also tech, because they will give commission, I feel like from maybe 15% to like 30% commission. Like it makes sense. And especially if it's a product that you use, you will want to share it with people and want them to try it out and, just try it for themselves. And with that, y'all, we are going to go into our Things I'm Loving Right Now segment. So y'all know in this segment, I love to plug all of the tools that I am personally using to help me with my content creation workflow, just to make things easier. And one tool that I've been using lately, I actually started using it, I think it was February. It's repurpose.io. And with this tool, it basically allows you to auto post from one social media platform to the next. So one of the challenges I was having was whenever I would post to my main platform, for example, Instagram, I would tell myself that, yeah, I'm going to post it on TikTok soon. But then I forget. So what it does for me is that I am able to have my content posted from Instagram onto TikTok as well. I've also experimented with like YouTube Shorts as well. And it has helped me to just be a bit more consistent in that I am not going out of my way to have to make separate content for TikTok, in a season right now where I don't really feel like investing that much into TikTok. That's pretty much where I'm at, if I'm being honest. But it still keeps me consistent and brings traffic to my page. So I'm still growing, getting followers. From time to time, I'll get engagement, which brings traffic to my older videos as well, as what I've been noticing. So that is a tool that I definitely recommend that you check out. And if you would like to try it out for 90 days, I have a special code that you can use. All you have to do is use the link that is in the show notes or in the description box, and you can get started using it for 90 days right now. The great thing about this offer is that you don't need to put in any credit card information. Just go ahead and utilize this for 90 days for free. See how you like it, and if you want to invest in it, then the option is there for you to do it. So check out the link in the show notes today. Another tool that I've been playing around with recently as I've been investing in it to finally kickstart me putting out digital products is Standstore. If you don't know what Standstore is, it is an all-in-one platform for content creators where you're able to sell products in the form of digital products, even courses, and also you're able to do one-on-one consultations with people. So like an Ask Me Anything session as well. You can have that done via Standstore. So one feature on Standstore that I'm super impressed with is their Ask Stan AI feature. Basically what it does is if you're someone thinking about products or even freebies, it doesn't have to just be paid products. It could be freebies that you want to make so that you can get some lead generation. Then you can actually ask it to help you with some topics. And what it will do is that it will analyze your social media page and give you some ideas. It can even prepare outlines for you that you can then flesh out even more based on what it is that you believe that you can provide based on your knowledge, etc. So I am going to be kind of documenting my journey in creating my very first digital product. So I want to be able to do more tutorial type behind the scenes content on this page as well that you're watching the podcast. So subscribe if you haven't. If you're listening to this on your favorite streaming platform, head over to YouTube and look for Optimistic Maggie. That is the YouTube channel that the podcast is on. And you can see and expect to see tutorial based videos regarding, equipment, content creation, gear, software, etc. So that's something that I'm going to be diving into doing a little bit more. So stay tuned for that, I guess. So I've been playing around with it, kind of getting myself ready to finally launch my own digital product, which is a perfect segue, y'all, into the next type of, way of making money as a content creator: digital products. Now, I'll be honest, y'all, this is one source of income that I've been very hesitant about because part of me has been low-key telling myself that there are enough creators out there who have courses that they're selling and there's enough information out there. Why would anyone want to pay me for additional information? And I realized that is the imposter syndrome talking there. Like, Mikey, what y'all talk about? You have 8+ year experience, can share. You have been doing this in different kind of ways. You have pivoted so much. There is a lot that you have also accomplished as a little girl from the Caribbean, moving to Canada, and you've been able to work with brands like DoorDash Canada, Western Union, even Meta. Like, you have some stuff that you can share. So I have been kind of talking myself out of it because of the imposter syndrome. If you have listened to my older episode that I did last year, I did talk about me launching a digital product, and the goal was to do it at the beginning of the year, I believe. But here we are in May and I still haven't done it as yet. So this episode is like high key to hold myself accountable for me to finally pull the plug and do it. I have everything already ready to go. It's just for me to actually put it out there. I think that part of me too had this fear of the fact that I already have content out there for free. I mean, even this podcast itself is like a free resource. Why should I be selling? Like, why do I expect people to be paying for information from me? But I realized that, no, Mikey, like, you have knowledge that you can share. And it brought me back to something that Jessica had said at that event that I told you guys about. So Jessica Eufoma, she had shared from her own content creation journey, even from her own like navigating everything about monetizing and getting brand deals and all of that, she has another stream of income that literally comes from digital products, where she's able to sell a lot of her guides for all of the trips that she has taken. So she's a travel content creator, and she's able to like package it into a product that people would be able to buy so that they can curate their own trip for wherever they want to go based on travels that she has done. And she has partnerships with experiences that she has done, hotels, accommodations, etc. And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, you're right. And this was something that she said. She said that content creation is the only industry where we believe that we shouldn't be charging for our knowledge because we've been posting content for free. And she gave the analogy of like a photographer who could be a newbie on day one and they're charging on day one. Yet for us, we feel like we have to have a certain amount of followers first before we can charge, or we just feel like, why should anyone want to listen to what I want to say? And I am just remembering these words that she said. Think of one thing you can package and sell. Don't wait for brands to choose you. Choose yourself. And so in this moment, I am going to be choosing myself for once in a long time. And it is kind of scary because the biggest thing is when you do something new, especially with a product, is that you put it out there and it's like, what if it doesn't sell? I also have that fear in my head, but I want to kind of silence that voice that is going on and just put my best foot forward and just put really good material out there for people, because I do believe that I have very great stuff that people can benefit from. So yeah, that is it for digital products. The next stream of income, which is something that your girl has lately been tapping into more frequently, is services in the form of consultation or workshops. So I have had the privilege of being able to do social media training sessions for organizations and, business owners where I've been able to do consultations with them. I do have a business that is a social media related, service provider. And that came through my whole experience and journey as a content creator. And so that is one way that I've been able to monetize as well and have another source of income. And I'm looking for more opportunities for that. I have a webinar that is upcoming. By the time this episode comes out, the webinar would have already been gone. But if you're somebody who would like to have someone who is a super geek in all things content creation and social media, this is my shameless plug right here. Feel free to reach out to me. All of my info you can find in the show notes or the description box, okay? But yeah, basically, there should be nothing wrong with you monetizing your knowledge. It doesn't matter how many followers you have. I know some very talented content creators that they don't have the most followers, and I feel like their content is amazing. And I feel like the content creation platforms can be a bit biased towards them, yet they are not getting the traction or reach that I feel like they deserve. But I feel like they could definitely be monetizing their skills in other ways. So a lot of them, they are doing like editing courses, for example. So they're helping people to learn how to edit. That is a skill that a lot of us right now, if you look at how online is, your editing skill has to be on point to keep people's, attention, because it's so short right now. So that is something that some of you, if you have that skill, you can be monetizing with. Now, some of these same creators who don't have the biggest followers that can attract brand deals, they have been able to leverage their skills, especially for attention to detail, aesthetic, editing, and all of that, for them to do UGC, which is another thing that has blown up recently. Like over the past year or two, there are so many people who have started doing UGC as a service. And if you don't know what UGC is, it is user generated content. And there's a bit of a debate on this, and the marketer in me is kind of like, that's not what UGC is, but we are just going to have to roll with the fact that things have evolved over the years. But back in the day, what UGC used to be is that whenever customers or fans of a brand would post about the brand, whether it was their product and experience, etc., they would post it, and oftentimes they would tag the brand. Now, this was before the era of the era. This was before the era of influencer marketing. And so what brands would do is everything that they're basically tagged in, they would be able to reshare it on their page, whether it's by their story or they do like a wrap up via, showcasing it on their feed. That was what UGC content was. Over the years, this has evolved into what we know it today to be, which is basically where brands pay creators to make content for them that they then post on their page. So the creator themselves don't have to post the content on their page. That would be a brand partnership or sponsorship. In the case of UGC, the creator just gets the brief from the brand and then they make the content, provide it to the brand for the brand to post on their page and use however they want. They could use it organically or they could use it via ads. Be mindful of whatever contract you guys are signing as well. Just an FYI, but that is a conversation for another day. But yes, UGC, that has been one of the biggest way that a lot of nano and even micro creators have been making an income, because the truth is, when it comes on to brand partnerships, not everyone is really getting opportunities, depending on the industry, depending on the country. Some brands would prefer to work with, who they have worked with and they're like sure about whatever ROI that they're looking for, etc. And so that has been one way that many creators have been finding a way to make income. So if you're good at creating really high quality, aesthetic looking videos, or that can position the brand in a way that it makes it look organic, then that is a service that you can provide. So you don't have to reach out to big brands. You can look for the smallest brands out there who might need your services, and you never know what can happen. Just put your skills out there. And that's why you also have to post, y'all. If you're able to post and show what you can do, that is also what can attract some of the opportunities that will come your way. So yeah, UGC. I think this also falls into services, but like speaking engagement is like a very like lucrative way of making additional money as well. And it's like, what? I get paid to yap? I get paid to do what I've been pretty much doing before. That is amazing. So I do have friends who have been able to tap into speaking engagement opportunities where they can be paid thousands of dollars for an hour of their time to talk about topics that they have already been talking about on their platform. They just have to package it for this current audience that they are going to be presenting it to. So that is pretty cool. And it is something that I am looking forward to doing in the near future. I did get a recent opportunity where I'm going to be doing a webinar that is all about how to build a personal brand using social media. So I am super excited for that because that's something that I have been able to do with my own platform. And so talking to other people who are aspiring creators or who are trying to do that to build up their personal brand for their business is something that I'm really, really excited to talk about at this webinar. But by the time y'all are listening to this episode, it will already be gone, unfortunately. So hopefully in the near future, if there's any other ones like it, I will definitely be sure to let y'all know about it way in advance. And the next one is being paid directly from the platforms, the social media platforms. Now, as a creator who is from Canada, I am just going to speak from my experience because there are certain opportunities that content creators in Canada do not have. For example, we do not get paid for views on TikTok. We do not get paid for views via Instagram bonus. That is not available to us. As a matter of fact, I think recently Instagram had threads that had a thread bonus, and now they're removing that and no longer doing it. So there's just like a lot of opportunities via the platforms directly that we don't have access to. But as someone who started their journey on YouTube, the OG, that is a platform that has been paying me for years now. And it has gotten to a point where I have built up a catalog of videos over the years that are evergreen, informative, all of the things that even right now I'm not super consistent on YouTube, but I can guarantee myself getting a check at least every single month. It's nothing big, but it can cover a couple subscriptions that I use to make content on a regular basis. So yeah, directly from the platform is also another way to make content. But I also want to make it clear for creators to know that please do not kill up yourself to be reaching some of the requirements that these platforms have in order for you to get paid by them. Because unless it is a platform like YouTube, which has been the original OG of paying creators, they don't really pay that much. Like I've heard on Instagram where people would get like millions of views and they might be getting like 1,000 and some, like the same amount of views that you would be getting on Instagram. If you were to get that on YouTube, you would get way more money. So that's just something to note. But in addition to that, there are platforms like Pinterest. Definitely don't sleep on Pinterest. I don't know if they have paid opportunities for Canadians in the same way, but I do know of Canadian creators who have like blogs where they were able to utilize Pinterest to bring traffic to their blog and they got paid. Just not 100% sure if they got paid directly through Pinterest, but I think maybe they did. And then another platform that some of us kind of forget about sometimes, and they are kind of making a comeback, Snapchat. I think I talked about this in one of my episodes where I talked about creator news, like updates for you to know about. Snapchat they have now opened up their monetization feature to Canadian creators. But again, going back to what I say about not killing up yourself to meet some of the requirements sometimes, like y'all, I believe on YouTube, the requirement to get monetized, and when I say to get monetized, you're not even guaranteed money. This is just the threshold for you to meet, or the criteria for you to meet, so that you can have ads on your videos on YouTube. So I believe now it's 500 subscribers and at least 4,000 watch hours. For Snapchat, I believe it is 50,000 followers, and it's either, I can't remember how many views, but I think it's in the millions for either Snapchat stories or the spotlight feature. So one out of those two, you have the option of meeting the criteria for one of those two before you can be eligible. But I hear that they pay pretty well. When it comes on to Instagram and TikTok, honestly, I don't know. I just know about Instagram. Like what they have, not Instagram, TikTok. I just know about TikTok, like lives where people can give you gifts over time that can add up to something. We had a content creator who was from Canada who was able to make a bag from TikTok live. In case y'all didn't know, the yum yum so good creator, yeah, she's from Canada, y'all, Montreal to be exact. Okay, yeah, she was one of the creators who was able to leverage lives and make good money from lives, even though we didn't have access to getting paid via views on our feed. So, all right, I'm going to stop ranting now because clearly I got beef with these platforms not wanting to pay us. The last option that I'll mention is subscriptions. There are platforms that are making it easier for you to set up subscription models. So I mentioned Stan Store before, where they would have like a way for you to set up a subscription-based model for exclusive content. But you also have the different platforms that are doing it directly on their platform for you, so you don't have to have your users coming off the platform to do that. An example would be Instagram. Instagram has a subscription feature. I believe there is a certain amount of followers you have to have though to be able to access that feature. If I'm not mistaken, at least over 10K followers. So again, there is a bit of caveat to what is available to who and when you can get it. I did try out Instagram subscription before, and I have never decided to do it again. And it was mainly because Instagram has that basically when someone is buying the subscription, if they have an Android, it would be through Google. And if they have a Apple, it would be through, or an iPhone, sorry, it would be through Apple. So those two companies, they take 40% in fees. 40% in fees. So when I actually decided to test it out, it was when I was getting married, and I decided that I was going to do some like exclusive content specifically on my wedding day, where I'm like getting ready, and whenever I had any pictures ready from the wedding day, like any pictures from my guests or that I and my husband had captured, it would be shared with my exclusive community only who had subscribed. And so I tried it out, after they took out their fees. I think I made like 60 something dollars. It kind of hurt me knowing that 40% gone and I did all the work. Excuse me. It was like being taxed all over again. But yeah, another reason I've never really looked into using it again is because I had so many persons who had issues with accessing some of the content that I did post. And then I had some people who didn't have the option of even signing up for like being a subscriber. That was just like, what the hell, Instagram? So yeah, I just didn't bother with it anymore. So that's Instagram. TikTok has a version of that. I don't know of anyone who has been using it, however, but they have something pretty similar. It's kind of hard to say who did it first, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was TikTok who did it first and then Instagram decided to follow suit. And then, of course, we have YouTube. Back in the day, the OGs would have used Patreon for their exclusive content that people could pay for and support them. However, recently YouTube had added the option for you to have a membership. So instead of you having people to go to a completely different app to get the exclusive content, you're able to do that directly on YouTube via membership. The only caveat to that, though, I believe they also take 40%. So that is the only thing I would say when it comes on to YouTube and their membership. So those are the main ones that I know about when it comes on to exclusive content or subscription based models. But there are other platforms that you could do it externally, so not relying on doing it on the platform. But I just thought I would provide both of the options to show that they are available if you're looking to utilize them. Now, I did a lot of yapping in this episode, but it was needed, y'all. Like, this is a topic that I think everyone should be thinking about. If you're thinking about becoming a content creator, or if you are already one, we need to start thinking about ways that we are diversifying our income so that we can make sustainable businesses for generations to come. I know that I don't want to just be doing this on my own. I want to be able to hire staff eventually. I have a platform that is edutainment, so I would be able to hire researchers, historians, whatever the case might be, people to basically help me to build this beast that I am building. And I want to build a legacy at the end of the day, and you need help with that. And for help, you need money to pay people to help you. Okay, so we're going to wrap up this episode with the Dear Future Me segment, and I want you to also do this yourself. So this is a segment where I reflect on the episode and also have a letter to my future self as a reminder. So here's today, Dear Future Me. Dear Future Me, I hope you remember how nervous you were to finally release your first digital product and how you did it anyway. I hope you've learned to celebrate progress over perfection, and I hope you're seeing that digital income doesn't just support your brand, it builds your freedom. I hope that this isn't the last product you create. I hope you continue to build offers that reflect your knowledge, your lived experience, and your love for helping others thrive. And if you're ever doubting yourself again, I hope you listen back to this episode and remember the version of you that recorded this was done waiting. She was ready to build something that lived beyond the scroll. Period. Period, Maggie. I'm ready to build something beyond the scroll indeed. And if you are feeling the same way, I am curious to know, what are some other creative streams of income that you have as a content creator? Let me know in the comment section below. And if you haven't yet subscribed to the podcast, y'all, please go ahead and do that and leave us a review. If you like the podcast, leave us a review on your favorite platform. Would love to hear from you guys, and let us know if there are any specific topics that you want to see me discussing. Send an email to dearcontentcreator@gmail.com. Until next time, y'all, thank you all for listening. I'll see you in another episode. Bye.